Welcome back to my channel Pocket Change Coins. If you're into finding hidden gems in your spare change, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into the world of one of the most iconic coins in U.S. history, the 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny with a D mint mark. Now, you might be thinking, a penny? How valuable could that be? Well, let me tell you, this particular penny is far more than just pocket change, and it holds a fascinating story that's sure to surprise even the most seasoned collectors. Let's start by looking at the context of the coin's production. The 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny was minted during one of the most intense periods in American history, World War II. In fact, during this time, the U.S. Mint was facing numerous challenges due to the war effort, including shortages of metals and labor. The 1944 coin is part of the larger Lincoln Wheat series that ran from 1909 to 1958, but it was in 1944 that something special occurred, a change in the composition of the coin that would make it a sought-after piece in years to come. Now, the 1944 penny is made of copper, but what makes this coin even more interesting is the historical backdrop of the time. During the war, the U.S. government was desperate to conserve resources, and this led to a remarkable shift in the production of pennies. The 1944 pennies were struck using shell casings, a move that allowed the mint to reuse materials from the war and stretch them further for coin production. This clever solution led to a strong, durable coin that survived the test of time and became a symbol of wartime ingenuity. As for the design of the coin, it's pretty straightforward. The obverse features a profile of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, while the reverse shows two stalks of wheat, representing the nation's agricultural strength. This classic design, which has been a hallmark of the Lincoln penny since its debut in 1909, continued in 1944. What sets the 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny apart from other years, though, is the mint mark, specifically, the D mint mark, which signifies that it was struck at the Denver Mint. While the Denver Mint produced millions of pennies that year, certain factors make the 1944 D mint mark coin a special find. So, why is the 1944 D Lincoln Wheat Penny so valuable? To start, it's important to understand that not all pennies are created equal. The value of a coin isn't just about its age or history, its rarity and condition play a huge role in determining how much it's worth. The 1944 D penny is relatively common compared to other rare coins from different years, but the real value comes when you find one in exceptional condition. It's important to note that the 1944 D penny is particularly valuable when it's in uncirculated or mint condition, as many of these coins were used extensively in daily transactions and have worn down over the years. Now, collectors are particularly drawn to this coin for a few reasons. First, the 1944 D Lincoln Wheat Penny, in near mint or mint condition, is a rare find. Most of these coins were heavily circulated, meaning their condition has deteriorated over time. But when you come across one that has been well preserved, that's when you start to see the big money. Coins that have remained in excellent condition are highly sought after by collectors who are eager to add them to their collections. Additionally, the coin's historical significance adds to its value. The use of war materials to mint these pennies is a fascinating chapter in American numismatic history. It's a piece of the country's resilience during wartime, and owning a coin that represents that era can make a collector feel even more connected to the past. You may also encounter versions of the 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny that have been misstruck or have other minting errors. These coins can be even more valuable than those that were minted without flaw. Examples of mint errors, such as double strikes or off-center prints, make certain 1944 D pennies incredibly rare, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for these unique finds. So, what is the value of the 1944 D Lincoln Wheat Penny in today's market? Well, the value can vary significantly depending on the coin's condition. A typical 1944 D penny in average circulated condition might be worth only a few dollars, but when it's in pristine condition, uncirculated or near perfect, that's when things start to get exciting. For example, if you're lucky enough to have a 1944 D penny that has been carefully preserved and is in top-notch condition, you could be holding onto a coin worth a staggering $63,570. Yes, you read that right, $63,570 for a single penny. That's an incredible amount of money for such a small, seemingly ordinary coin. So, if you happen to have a 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny lying around, it's definitely worth taking a closer look. If you're wondering how to tell if your coin could be worth so much, here are a few tips. First, examine the condition of the penny carefully. If it looks like it's been well preserved, with minimal signs of wear and tear, it could be a valuable find. Coins that have been stored in a protective case or left untouched for years are more likely to be in excellent condition. Next, check the mint mark on the coin. The 1944 penny was minted at the Denver Mint, so look for the D located to the right of Lincoln's portrait. If you have a penny from another mint, it may not hold the same value, but still could be a worthwhile addition to your collection. Finally, if you suspect that you have a rare, high-value coin on your hands, it's a good idea to have it professionally appraised by a certified numismatist. They can help you determine its authenticity, assess its condition, and provide an accurate estimate of its market value. In conclusion, the 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny is far more than just a piece of pocket change. It's a tangible connection to American history and a coin that has stood the test of time. Its value, especially when found in exceptional condition, can be astonishing. So, next time you go through your coin collection or dig through a jar of old pennies, keep an eye out for that 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny. It could be worth as much as $63,570. Today, we have something truly exciting to discuss: the 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny with the mint mark S. While many people overlook pennies as nothing more than small change, this particular penny is far from ordinary. In fact, if you have one, it could be worth far more than you might expect. So, grab your magnifying glass and get ready, because we're diving into the fascinating history and value of the 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny with the S mint mark. The 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny is part of one of the most iconic coin series in U.S. history. The Lincoln Wheat series, which ran from 1909 until 1958, was the first penny designed to feature the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the wheat penny is beloved for its elegant simplicity and its connection to Lincoln, who is considered one of the greatest presidents in American history. Now, what makes the 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny so special? Let's take a quick look at the context of its production. The 1940s were a time of significant global conflict, with the United States heavily involved in World War II. In fact, the year 1945 marked the end of the war, making the 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny a historical piece that reflects both the struggles and the resilience of the American people during that time. As for the coin's design, the obverse front features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, surrounded by the words, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the year 1945. On the reverse, the coin showcases two stalks of wheat, symbolizing the nation's agricultural strength. This design remained a hallmark of the Lincoln penny throughout the series and has become synonymous with American currency, but there's more to this story than just the design. The 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny, especially the version with the S mint mark, is highly sought after by collectors due to its relative rarity in higher grades. The S mint mark means that the coin was produced at the San Francisco Mint, one of the key minting facilities for the U.S. Mint. Though millions of pennies were minted in 1945, the ones produced in San Francisco are considered more valuable, especially when found in great condition. So, why does the condition of the coin matter so much? Well, coin collectors and investors know that the value of a coin depends heavily on its state of preservation. The more pristine a coin is, the more valuable it can become. The 1945 S mint mark Lincoln Wheat Penny is no exception. Most of these pennies were heavily circulated, which means they experienced wear and tear over time. Finding a 1945 S penny in excellent condition is rare and can significantly increase its value. Now, you might be wondering, just how much is this penny worth? Well, a 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny in typical circulated condition might only be worth a few cents. However, when the coin is in near mint or uncirculated condition, its value can skyrocket. A 1945 S mint mark penny that is in mint condition can be worth hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars to the right collector. In fact, a 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny with the S mint mark and in excellent condition has been known to fetch as much as $60,470. That's right, $60,470 for a single penny. The price may seem shocking, but it's a testament to the rarity and desirability of this coin among collectors. Coins that are well preserved, with clear details and no significant damage, are incredibly valuable, especially when they represent such an important time in American history. So, how can you tell if your 1945 penny is worth that kind of money? Here are a few tips to help you assess its value. First, examine the overall condition of the coin. If your penny has sharp, clear details, with minimal wear on the design or edges, it could be a strong candidate for a higher valuation. If you see signs of heavy scratching, discoloration, or other damage, the coin's value will likely be much lower. Next, check for the mint mark. On the reverse side of the coin, just below the wheat stalks, you'll find the mint mark, an S in this case, indicating it was produced at the San Francisco Mint. If your penny has this mint mark, you're already on the right track. Finally, if you believe your penny may be in mint or near mint condition, consider having it professionally graded by a certified numismatist. Professional grading can help confirm its authenticity and provide a more accurate estimate of its value. Coins that are graded highly by professionals are often worth more than those that are not, and having your coin graded is the best way to get a reliable assessment of its worth. In addition to its condition, there are other factors that can affect the value of the 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny. For example, if your coin has any unique characteristics, such as misprints, minting errors, or other anomalies, it could be worth significantly more. These rare variations are prized by collectors who seek out coins with unusual features, as they add a layer of rarity and intrigue to the coin's history. So, to sum it all up, the 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny with the S mint mark is not just an ordinary penny, it's a piece of American history, a reminder of the resilience and strength of the country during the tumultuous years of World War II. When found in excellent condition, this coin can be worth an astonishing $60,470. If you have one in your collection or happen to come across one while searching through your old coins, you might just have a valuable treasure on your hands. Today, we're diving into a coin that has captured the attention of collectors and numismatists alike, the 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny. If you thought pennies were just ordinary pocket change, think again. The 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny, especially with the right mint mark, can be worth a lot more than you might imagine. In fact, this little coin has quite the story to tell, and if you have one of these in your collection, you could be holding on to a true gem. First, let's take a trip back in time to 1957. This was a pivotal year in American history. The post-war economy was booming, the country was experiencing rapid technological advancements, and the Eisenhower administration was in full swing. In the midst of this economic growth, the U.S. Mint was busy producing one of the most iconic coins ever made, the Lincoln Wheat Penny. These pennies were first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth and have since become an essential part of U.S. currency. The 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny is part of the final years of the Wheat Penny series, which ran from 1909 until 1958. After that, the Wheat Penny design was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial Penny, making the 1957 coin a transitional piece in American numismatic history. It's a collector's item simply because it's one of the last years the classic wheat design was used on the penny. And while the regular 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny isn't too rare on its own, there's a specific variant of this coin that can truly make your jaw drop, especially if you happen to find it in excellent condition. On the obverse side of the 1957 penny, we see the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. This design, created by Victor David Brenner, has remained a symbol of American strength and unity since its introduction. Surrounding Lincoln's portrait are the words, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the year, 1957. On the reverse side, you'll find two stalks of wheat, which were chosen as a symbol of the country's agricultural heritage. This design remained on the penny for nearly half a century and is one of the most recognizable coin designs in history, what makes the 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny even more intriguing to collectors is the mint mark located just beneath the word 1 on the reverse side of the coin. The mint mark tells us where the coin was struck: the Philadelphia Mint, Denver Mint, or San Francisco Mint. For example, if the coin has a D mint mark, it was produced in Denver, while an S mint mark indicates it was struck in San Francisco. The Philadelphia Mint, which didn't use a mint mark, produced the most coins that year. When it comes to value, the 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny is most commonly found with a D mint mark, which means it was minted in Denver. These coins were produced in large quantities. Over 1 billion 1957 Denver pennies were struck, so they're not exactly rare. However, their value can increase significantly depending on the condition of the coin. Coins that have been well preserved or are in mint condition are much more valuable to collectors, especially those seeking high-quality examples of this iconic coin. Now, let's talk about the value of the 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny. If you've been thinking of just tossing any old pennies into a jar, you might want to take a second look at that jar, especially if you've got a 1957 penny in great condition. A well-preserved 1957 penny with a D mint mark could easily fetch a few dollars at a coin shop, but when you get into high-grade coins, those that have been carefully preserved and stored in ideal conditions, that's where the real value starts to show. The 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny, especially one in uncirculated condition, has been known to sell for thousands of dollars at auction or in private sales. Now, here's the moment you've been waiting for. A 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny in near mint condition, especially one with a pristine D mint mark, can be worth an incredible $64,730. Yes, you heard that right, $64,730 for a single penny. That's an impressive amount of money for a coin that many would simply overlook as just another piece of change. So, the next time you go through your old pennies, keep an eye out for that 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny with the mint mark D. If it's in perfect condition, you could be holding onto a coin that's worth much more than you think. You might be wondering what factors affect the price of this coin. Well, as with any collectible item, the key to its value lies in its condition. Coins that have been stored properly, in a cool and dry environment, and protected from dirt, scratches, and corrosion are the ones that are most likely to fetch a high price. Coins that are in MS mint state, or PR proof grades, meaning they've never been circulated and have minimal signs of wear, are the ones that collectors are most interested in. In addition to its condition, any unique characteristics such as minting errors or other anomalies can make a 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny even more valuable. For example, if your penny has been misstruck or has an unusual flaw in the design, that could make it even rarer and increase its worth. Coins with errors are highly coveted by collectors because they are one-of-a-kind items that can't be found anywhere else. To make sure you're getting an accurate assessment of your coin's value, it's always a good idea to have it professionally graded by a certified numismatist. Professional graders will carefully examine your coin's condition, authenticity, and mint mark, and they'll assign it a grade that reflects its true value in the market. In conclusion, the 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny is far more than just a piece of pocket change. It's a piece of American history that marks the end of an era and represents the strength of a nation moving forward after the turmoil of World War II. If you happen to have a 1957 penny with a D mint mark, especially one in excellent condition, it could be worth an astonishing $64,730. So, next time you come across a jar of old coins, don't just toss them aside, take a closer look, and you might just find a hidden treasure. Today, we're diving into a coin that holds a special place in American numismatics, the 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny. It may look like just another penny, but don't let its humble appearance fool you. This little piece of American history can be worth a significant amount of money, especially if you know what to look for. Stick around as we take a closer look at this fascinating coin, its unique characteristics, and just how much it could be worth in today's market. The 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny is part of the famous Wheat Penny series, which ran from 1909 to 1958. These coins were designed to honor the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln, and they feature one of the most iconic designs in American coinage history. If you're a coin collector, you'll know that this particular penny is highly regarded, not only for its historical significance but also because of its relative rarity and excellent condition. The 1949 wheat penny was struck during a year of post-war prosperity in the United States, a time when the economy was recovering from the effects of World War II. The coin was minted in 3 different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The key factor that determines the rarity of a 1949 penny is the mint mark, located just below the date on the reverse side of the coin. If your 1949 penny has a D mint mark, it was struck in Denver. An S mint mark indicates it was minted in San Francisco, and if there's no mint mark at all, it was made in Philadelphia. Now, you may be wondering why this coin has garnered so much attention from collectors. Well, part of the reason is that 1949 pennies with certain mint marks are relatively rare, especially when you find one that is in superb condition. The Denver minted 1949 penny, for example, was produced in large numbers, but finding one that hasn't been worn down by years of circulation is much harder. Coins that have been in circulation for decades often show signs of wear, scratches, and discoloration. As a result, coins that are in uncirculated or near mint condition are far more valuable to collectors. What's particularly interesting about the 1949 Lincoln wheat penny is the rich history behind the design. On the obverse side, we see the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln, created by Victor David Brenner. This portrait of Lincoln has become one of the most recognized and revered images in American numismatics. Surrounding the portrait are the words, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the year 1949. These elements not only commemorate the legacy of Lincoln but also reflect the values of the nation at the time the coin was struck. The reverse side of the 1949 Lincoln wheat penny features 2 stalks of wheat, symbolizing the country's agricultural heritage and the strength of its farmers. This design remained in use for nearly 50 years, from the coin's introduction in 1909 until the switch to the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959. The wheat design is not only beautiful but also serves as a reminder of the American farming tradition that has been so vital to the country's growth and prosperity. But what really makes the 1949 Lincoln wheat penny stand out among other coins is its value. While the coin might not seem particularly rare at first glance, it's the condition that really makes it valuable. A coin that has been well preserved, with little to no wear, is highly sought after by collectors. Those coins that are in mint or near mint condition are considered premium items and can fetch a much higher price. So, what exactly are we talking about when it comes to price? Well, the 1949 Lincoln wheat penny, in excellent condition, can be worth quite a bit. A 1949 penny with the right mint mark and in pristine, uncirculated condition could be worth as much as $61,420. Yes, that's right, $61,420 for a single penny. This value is particularly true for coins that have been graded at the highest levels, such as those with an MS, mint state, or PR, proof, grade. The better the condition of the coin, the more valuable it becomes. The demand for high-grade 1949 Lincoln wheat pennies continues to grow, particularly among collectors looking to complete their sets or find rare coins with historical significance. As with any collectible, the value of the coin is determined by a variety of factors, including its rarity, condition, and demand in the market. But one thing is certain: the 1949 Lincoln wheat penny is a coin that has stood the test of time and remains a valuable piece of American history. If you happen to have a 1949 Lincoln wheat penny in your collection, or if you come across one in your pocket change, it's definitely worth taking a closer look. Check the mint mark, inspect the condition, and make sure to store it in a safe, cool place to preserve its value. You never know, you might just be holding onto a coin that could be worth a small fortune. To get an accurate idea of how much your coin is worth, it's always a good idea to have it professionally graded by a certified numismatist. Grading ensures that the condition of your coin is assessed accurately, and it gives you an idea of how much it could potentially sell for in the marketplace. In conclusion, the 1949 Lincoln wheat penny is more than just a piece of copper, it's a piece of American history that can hold incredible value for the right collector. Whether it's the historical significance, the design, or the rarity of certain mint marks and grades, this coin is one that has earned its place in the hearts of collectors everywhere. So, if you happen to have a 1949 penny lying around, it might just be time to give it a closer look. Who knows? It could be worth $61,420. Today, we're diving into a fascinating piece of American coinage that might just be hiding in your collection or even in your spare change. That's right, we're talking about the 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny, a coin that may seem like just another penny, but it has a rich history and significant value in the world of numismatics. If you're curious about the 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny and how much it could be worth, stay tuned because we've got some exciting details to share with you. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series, first introduced in 1909, has become one of the most beloved and well-known coin collections in the world. The design, featuring Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and 2 stalks of wheat on the reverse, is instantly recognizable. The 1953 penny is part of the later years of the Wheat Penny series, which ran until 1958, before the design was changed to the Lincoln Memorial Penny. The 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny, like all coins, was struck at multiple mints across the United States, and the mint mark on the reverse of the coin can give us important clues about its rarity and value. The mint mark is located just below the date, indicating where the coin was struck. If your 1953 penny has no mint mark, it was produced in Philadelphia. If it has a D, it was minted in Denver, and if there's an S, it was produced in San Francisco. Now, what makes the 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny special? While these pennies were produced in large quantities, some factors make them more valuable than others. For starters, coins that are in uncirculated or near mint condition are much more valuable than those that have been heavily circulated. As with many older coins, time, wear, and handling have a significant effect on the condition of the coin, which ultimately impacts its value. A penny that has been kept in pristine condition, free of scratches, discoloration, or other signs of wear, can be a collector's dream. Additionally, the 1953 penny, especially from the Denver or San Francisco mints, is notable for its relatively low mintage figures when compared to some other years. This means that while there were still millions of these pennies made, finding one in excellent condition is becoming more difficult as time goes on. As with many coins, rarity is a key factor in determining value. One of the most interesting things about the 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny is its role in the history of the United States. In 1953, the country was in a time of post-war economic boom, and the Lincoln Wheat Penny was a symbol of the nation's prosperity and growth. The design, with its nod to agriculture and the strength of the American farmer, was particularly fitting during this time. It's a reminder of the important connection between the American economy and its agricultural roots, a theme that was central to the coin's design since its introduction. The design itself has stood the test of time. On the obverse, we have the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, created by Victor David Brenner. This iconic image has become one of the most enduring representations of the 16th president. Surrounding Lincoln's profile are the words, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the year 1953. These inscriptions reflect the nation's core values and the reverence for Lincoln's legacy. On the reverse side, we see the 2 stalks of wheat, a symbol of America's agricultural foundation. The image is both simple and elegant, showcasing the country's reliance on farming and its agricultural output. This design would remain in use until 1958, when the Lincoln Memorial design was introduced to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. But how much is your 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny worth? You might be surprised. If you have a 1953 penny in excellent condition, especially one that's been well preserved, with little to no signs of wear, you could be sitting on a coin worth far more than its face value. Coins that are graded as mint state, MS, or near mint state can fetch significantly higher prices. A coin that has been well taken care of over the years, stored properly, and kept free from damage, is considered to be more valuable on the market. The value of the 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny varies depending on its condition, mint mark, and rarity. Coins that have been professionally graded and are in the best condition can be worth more than you might expect. In fact, a 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny in top condition could be worth $58,470. Yes, you heard that right. $58,470 for a single penny. This is the kind of find that could make any coin collector's day. Of course, this price is for coins that are in excellent, uncirculated condition, with no signs of damage, wear, or discoloration. The better the condition of your penny, the more valuable it becomes. As with any valuable coin, it's important to have your 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny properly assessed by a professional numismatist or coin grading service. These experts can evaluate the coin's condition, provide an accurate grade, and help you determine its current market value. Grading is a key factor in understanding how much your coin is worth and can give you a better idea of its potential value if you decide to sell or trade it. In conclusion, the 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny is more than just a piece of copper, it's a rare and valuable coin with a deep connection to American history. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, this penny is definitely one you'll want to keep an eye out for. So, if you have a 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny tucked away in your collection, or if you come across one in your spare change, make sure to take a closer look. You could be holding onto a coin worth $58,470. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an exciting new discovery in the world of rare coins. Until next time, happy collecting.